Hello, everyone. Anton here again, and welcome to the brainstorming section of niche selection. Okay, in this video, we're going to go ahead and continue moving forward. We've already spoke about pricing, target demographics, and brand loyalty when it comes to how we pick winning niches and how you should too. But in this video, I want to kind of take it a step further and start talking about how to actually get ideas, right? How to brainstorm ideas for products to sell online. And that is because pretty soon we're going to be ready to move on to module 2 of the dropship blueprint, okay? And module 2 is all about actually going out and researching these ideas that we brainstormed. So before we can do that, obviously we need a list of ideas. And the next video in this module, in module 1, will be about how we actually create this list. So don't worry, we'll get there. But in this video, specifically what I want to talk about are different ways to get your brain kind of working in the right way and coming up with ideas all the time for at least products that might be good for drop shipping, okay? This isn't when we decide if they're winners or not. This is when we're just trying to get ideas for what is good. So I'm gonna go over a few methods here. And one thing I should note is whenever you're doing this, whenever you see a good product, you should always write it down. You'll probably hear me say that a few times. I have notes in my iPhone, in my notes app with tons of products listed. I have a Google sheet with literally thousands of products listed. Pen and paper. I mean, I take notes all the time because we forget a lot of the good ideas that we come up with. So with that being said, let's move on to ways that I come up with niche ideas and that most of our successful students do as well. The first thing to ask yourself is, what have you bought? Okay, preferably online, but offline is okay too, because at this point we're really just trying to get ideas for just product ideas, really, to get our brains going in the right direction. So a couple ways to think of what you have bought. I mean, you can look around your house, right? If you have an office or if you buy stuff for yourself at work, you can, look around your office. What have you bought that, things you spent money on? Okay, great way to just start thinking of product ideas. And this one is actually pretty cool. You can actually just go back. I mean, most people can log in online and check your credit card statement or your debit card statement, however you spend money. This is funny. When I originally had started telling people, how I brainstorm niche ideas, I didn't mention this one. And then we have one of our students who does really, really well. I mean, over 30,000 a month in sales all the time with his dropshipping store. And when I met him at one of our retreats, one of our live events, he told me that he found his product idea by going back almost 5 years on his credit card statement, and he saw a product that he bought that was like $700, and he was like, "Wow, I didn't even realize that I bought that online. And if I bought it, I'm sure other people would too." And it's a super random product, but a great way to get ideas. So, even though I know I don't like doing it, maybe you don't like going back and looking at all your finances, but great way to get your brain going and great way to see where you've actually spent money. So you could start, getting ideas for products that maybe you'll sell one day, change from the consumer to the actual merchant, to the person selling it. So let's go over another way. What have your family and friends bought? Okay, maybe you don't spend a lot of money. Nothing wrong with that. But maybe you have a wife or kids that do, or maybe you have friends that spend a lot. So simplest way, ask people you're close with. Ask your husband or your wife, ask your children, ask your aunts, ask your uncles, ask your coworkers. Just mention to people, say like, "Hey, I'm doing some research on online shopping, and I'm curious. Have you ever spent over $200 on a purchase before? And what was that? Do you mind telling me? You don't have to tell me the exact product, but would you mind telling me what product that you purchased online?" And I'm telling you, you'll get some really good responses from people. And this is what really helps me to this day, because in my mind, I still, after a decade of doing this, have a very fixed mindset as to what people buy and what they don't. And just by having conversations with normal people who shop, you can get some great ideas and get really creative. So just ask people. Don't be afraid to ask. Don't tell them you're gonna, you don't have to get into the whole why behind it, but you can simply just say, "I want to know what you've spent money on online. It'll help me with some research I'm doing for a new business." Okay. Another way to do this, if you don't have that many people that are around you, is to simply make a post on Facebook and ask everyone else that you're connected with, right? So I made a little fake Facebook post here. It could look like this. Okay, we have our guy Tim say something, and this isn't a script. I mean, say whatever you want, but help, I'm doing research on what products sell online. If you've ever spent over $200 while shopping online, can you message me with the name of the products you purchased? Thanks in advance. And then I added a little PS here because like marketing 101, spark people's interest, get them to contact you. So I added a PS. If you're interested in what I need this data for, send me a message and I'll tell you. So that way, if you want to post something like this, I'd recommend adding a little PS like that because it'll get you a higher response rate. And then when people message you, you could say, oh yeah, if they just want to know why, you could tell them because you're doing research for a new business. And then also, try to have them also ask people they know about what they've spent money on. And it's a great way to keep bringing in more and more product ideas. So again, this isn't an exact script you have to use, but you get the idea. Something like this on Facebook will definitely get you messages and some responses with some good product ideas that, who knows, it could end up building you a huge business. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. What are your hobbies? So hobby niches are amazing. I'm going to post a few more resources in the action tasks video for module 1 that'll give you some lists of hobbies. Now, I wrote here, what are your hobbies? I should say these don't have to be your hobbies, maybe like your friends' hobbies. Again, same thing, you could ask around. But hobby niches do great online because people are passionate about them and they spend money. So I should mention with a drop shipping business, the way that I do it, the way that I'm assuming you want to do it, we're not trying to build stores that we're passionate about. The passion is really building the business, right? And turning it into a little cash machine. So when I say like, what are your hobbies? I'm not saying this so you could build a business around your hobby. Maybe your hobby is profitable. Maybe that will work. But I wouldn't want you to put all your eggs in one basket kind of and be like, okay, this is my passion. I want to build a store for it because maybe the products don't sell. But looking at your hobbies and other people's hobbies are a great way to brainstorm niche ideas. So a few things that I actually do still to this day when trying to get ideas, just think about what magazines you read. I mean, I don't know. It depends what your hobbies are, but do you subscribe to any magazines? What products advertise in there? In the back of magazines, there's always advertising sections where people list products for sale. So no, we're not looking at that because we want to advertise there, but it's a great way to just get product ideas. So I'll even do this. I go to Barnes and Nobles, which we have in the States. I'm not sure if they have them everywhere in the world, but huge bookstores with the best magazine sections you'll ever see, like every magazine you could ever want. And I buy a bunch of them, but sometimes I'll also just go through into a random section like home and garden or cooking, stuff I'm not passionate about, but I'll just flip through the magazines real quick and try to get some product ideas. And when I get that idea, I'll make a note in my iPhone app and I'll just have this added to my list of niches to eventually research. So something I highly recommend you do as well. Another thing could be what podcasts you listen to. Maybe you have a hobby you're passionate about. Does that podcast talk about specific products? What's the hobby? Basically, what products serve people who are interested in that hobby as well? So another way to spark ideas. Another thing, what Facebook groups are you a part of? So again, if you have a hobby and there's Facebook groups built around it, I know this doesn't apply to everyone, but it's a way that product ideas do come up. So something I wanted to mention. And finally, what blogs do you follow? So I'll be speaking on this in our traffic module, but blogs are actually a great way to get traffic to your website. And I'm not the only one that knows this. Lots of other business owners know this. So if you go to different hobby blogs, you'll see different online stores being advertised, and you'll see different physical products being talked about. So another great way to get niche ideas and to brainstorm them and to add them to your list. Let's go over one more here. What do you notice in your day-to-day life? And this for me is the biggest way I get niche ideas and business ideas and marketing ideas and everything. For the purpose of this video, we'll talk about how it applies to brainstorming niche ideas. But basically, like once your mind switches on to this way of researching basically everything as a business opportunity, you will see opportunity everywhere. So some things, what products do you see at work? Obviously, we all have different types of jobs. People are going to different offices or different, maybe you don't work in an office. Maybe you work, in a gym, or maybe you just go to a gym. So what products do you see at your gym? What products there would be good to sell? What about just going to the mall and taking a walk around? Does anything stand out that you think could also lend itself to selling online well? Even things as random as, what products do you see at the doctor's office? And the list, like as you see here, it could just go on and on and on. But A great way to brainstorm ideas is just by noticing things in your day-to-day life. As you're going out, as you're experiencing life, you'll see products that definitely could fit this business model. So all I'm asking you to do when you see that, take out a little pen and paper if you have it, or take out your phone and open a note app and write down your ideas, because some of our best ideas slip away from us. It's just how we're wired. Happens all the time to me. So that is why I try my hardest whenever I have an idea, just to make a quick note. And then later, when you're at your computer, when you're ready to devote some time, you'll have a huge list of things to go through in the next module, which is about market research, where we're going to take all of these ideas and really work through them to see which are the best. But to hit on this one more time about seeing things in your day-to-day life, I wanted to show you this image again from the last video training that I showed you. And I don't know, what is it? There's like, I think 11, 12, 13 different products I found that would be worth researching in this one image. So yes, your house probably looks like this. So you're going to get the same ideas from your, I'm not saying your house looks exactly like this, but yes, you're going to get the same type of ideas from your living room and your kitchen. But if you take this same concept of seeing opportunity everywhere, when you're at the gym or when you're at work or when you're at the doctor's office or when you're taking your kids to daycare or when you're out at a restaurant or literally wherever you are, these ideas will just keep coming to you. And this is where the good ones come from. And again, like the best ideas come from you just being out there living life and writing down all of your ideas. So let's quickly recap what we've went over in this module, the different ways that you should start basically noticing things, looking at products you have bought, asking what your friends and family have bought, looking at your hobbies and other people's hobbies, and just noticing things in your day-to-day life. So I hope this video really did explain how I brainstorm things, how my team brainstorms things, and really how the most successful e-commerce entrepreneurs and really entrepreneurs in general get their ideas. What we're going to do now is go to the next video, which will be our action task for module 1. And then I'm going to give you our template and a few more resources for starting to build out your list. And just remember how important this is. Niche selection is huge. I don't want you to rush through it. So go ahead when you're ready. Jump on to the next video. It is the last video of module 1. And as always, if you have any questions, post them below this video or jump over to our forum at fastbusinessforum.com, where I am always happy to help, and you can connect with our whole community there. So thank you, and I will see you in the next video.